Hi, I'm Chris and welcome back to my channel. So I got my bike in and here it is. 2018 Santa Cruz Hightower. It's the S build, has the reverb dropper seat post, running the Maxxis Ardent Rage tires on it at the moment. So originally my budget was $2,500. I made some calls, talked to a couple different bike shops, and I found a bike shop that had this one as a demo for $3,500, so I grabbed it. It's a little bit more than what I wanted to spend, but I know it's going to serve me well when I get out to Arizona and ride the trails that I want to ride. For now, it's probably a lot more than I need, just riding flatland here in Key Largo, but I'm practicing a lot of just basics right now and trying to get myself back in shape and learn some techniques. So, you know, it was well over my budget. I figured at $2,500 I might go to $3,000, but $3,500 stretched it a little bit, but I figured it was worth the stretch, and you know, I would make some sacrifices elsewhere for a while and try to afford it. So my first ride, I headed up to Dagny Johnson State Park. After talking to the local bike shop and looking at some maps on Strava, I found some courses and just found some places to ride. So I started out, I am using the Evo SS gimbal with the GoPro 4. On my first ride, I kept noticing it kept wanting to look left. It kept going off to the side, and if I'd turn, it'd come back, and it was just very slow to react. Now I knew about the settings. I set it to motion in the app, but I was still having some problems. After doing a little digging on Google, I also found another setting. Even though I set it to motion, I needed to go in and do a custom and clear out the dead zones and make the dead zones 0 so that it wouldn't drift on me a little bit. And now it's holding a lot better in the middle. I'm also using the Garmin 910 XT. I've had it for a while. I used to use it for running when I lived in Hawaii, and I haven't been using it in a while, but I've gotten it back out, trying to get in shape. I like the geeky information of the heart rate and everything. I bought the cadence and speed sensor for it as well, so I like having that information. It doesn't motivate me or anything, but I have fun looking at it afterwards and just seeing what I did. It's just a personal thing. It's not like I expect it to boost me to the next level, but it is fun for me. So Dagny Johnson is an interesting park. They've got signs around explaining some of the different plants and everything that are in the area, some wild coffee and that sort of thing. On my first ride, I came to the roundabout. I took a right. I had seen on Strava that there was a little course there. I thought I'd see if I could find it. I hadn't been here before. As you can see, my seat is really low. You can see my knees coming in, plus I was trying to wear the gimbal pretty low as well, and my knees keep coming into view. So my bike isn't set up. I have some brake issues, have some adjustments that need to be made, but I just wanted to get out and ride. So I came up and I found the course, took a left off of the main road and found the little side trail. And I thought I'd just give it a go, see what I could do. First time I took a left and kind of ran the course a little bit backwards. It's like 0.16 of a mile or something. It's a really short 1 minute loop, but it was good for me to get out and just to try it, just to see how it all worked. I wasn't expecting to set any records or anything like that, knowing my legs are already burning at this point and I've barely gotten into the ride. So I came off of that course, headed back up, hit the roundabout, and took off the other direction on the road. You get to a fork where you can take the half loop or you can do the full loop. So I took the route out to the full loop and started around that way. So there was some thunderstorms booming around, so I thought I'd make a left. I knew there was a back gate there, so I clipped the left and went to the back gate, started sliding under it, Next thing I know, I've got bees landing on me and all over me, so I just ran my bike, hopped on it, and cooked it down the road. And those bees just stayed with me for a while, so just pedaled as fast as I could, got my heart rate up again, finally was in the clear. So I hooked a left down a side road, went down to the end of the road where it gets near the water. On the right there's a house that says Casa Mosquito. I think that pretty much describes every house in the Keys. Mosquitoes are everywhere here. Went on around the bend past Silent World and Shipwrecks. Silent World is a great little dive operation if you're down here. Check them out. I don't work for them, but always hear good things about them. And then I kicked around through the neighborhood and came up to US 1, and then I came back across to Scuba Quest. So my first ride was a pretty good ride overall. You know, I got to see what I needed to fix on my bike. I knew I had to raise the seat. The brakes, the left one was grabbing the front pretty good, and the right was kind of soft and needed to be bled. I really don't know much about the hydraulics at this point. Eventually I'd like to do my own maintenance on the bike, but right now I took it down to All Keys Cycle, had him fix the brakes up for me, and he did a good job and got the bike set up. I raised the seat up, so now the bike's in a really comfortable position, and I love it. So for my second ride, I started out the same way. I went down to Dagny Johnson Park, and I went and I ran the Strava course, the little segment, just to see how the new bike would set up, see if I got any faster. And then I came back and I noticed that there was also a trail on there for the half loop on Strava, so I hit that. Now I'm not chasing KOMs and I'm not doing all that, but I wanted to see what kind of shape I was in compared to people that had been riding for a while and what kind of times were there. So I hit the half loop, came around, it joins back into the full loop again, come across a nice little rock patch, slight uphill. It's all flat here, it's not like I'm doing climbs, but a slight uphill, and then it comes into the hard pavement again, and then there are signs where there's active bees, which they are all over in that park. As long as you keep moving though, the bees don't seem to really come around and mess with you. I hit the roundabout again, I left the park, again down the side road. When I came to the neighborhood, I decided I wanted to extend my ride. My goal was to get to 10 miles, so I decided to go down US 1. About 3 miles down is All Keys Cycle. I turned around in their parking lot, and then I headed back. So came back to Scuba Quest, pulled into the parking lot, and that was my ride. From here, I'm riding every once in a while, but I'm also taking some time to work on manuals, which are much more difficult than they look in videos. Just getting that confidence to bring the front wheel up. I have flat, so if I bail, it's not a big deal, but it's still a little bit intimidating. I got to work on that. Some of the things I noticed on the trail are my turns. I'm kind of leaning with the bike. I need to stand over the bike a little bit more and let the bike lay down so that I can keep my traction, because I had a couple of times where the front wheel washed a little bit and I straightened up and kind of going off the trail slightly. So, you know I need to work on some things. I need to get a little bit of stability on the bike and that, and so that's what I'm working on now. So hopefully soon I'm gonna record myself doing some manuals and see what I'm doing wrong, and maybe share it online, and hopefully somebody watches the video and will chime in. But thanks for watching my video. If you're ever in Key Largo, stop in to Scuba Outlet here, say hello. If you want to ride, bring your bike, hit me up. If you're in South Florida, I'd love to hit up ride up there too on one of my days off, so hopefully I can meet up with some people. Aloha.